Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all of you. Hope everyone is doing well. In today's session, I will be explaining quadratic equation, how to factorize them, how to solve them, and how to play with them. So, if you guys have any questions, you can post them in the comments below, and I'll be starting with my session today. So, if you guys are following an Olevel book, it is chapter number 5 from D2 book, and it is the chapter Quadratic Equations and Graphs, where we'll be doing factorizing and solving of quadratic equations. So let's proceed. Our objectives for today's are the first thing is we will be understanding and we'll be learning what such kind of equations are, what quadratic equations are. Then we will revise how to expand them. We will learn how to factorize them through two methods. First one is long method, that is the manual method, and the second one is through algebraic identities. Then I will explain you guys how to solve quadratic equations. And at last we will be practicing some questions related to it. So let's start. First thing, what are quadratic equations? I'm going to refer you guys from an O-level book. One thing to note down is whenever you guys are studying mathematics, science, or any other subject, try to be fond of your books. Your books are key. So avoid sticking to any notes or something, because your books have each and everything which you require. They have some important terms. If you are familiar with your books, you will be familiar with the exam paper. You will know what kind of terms or words are used in the papers. So here, first of all, we all know what algebraic expressions are. Algebraic expressions are made up of algebraic terms which are connected to one another through operation symbols like plus, minus, multiplication, division, or brackets. When we combine terms with operation, we get an algebraic expression. For example, if you see here, let's suppose if I have 2x plus 3x minus 4y. So over here, 2x is the first term, 3x is the second term, and 4y is the other or the third term. These three terms are connected to one another through different expressions. If you see, through different, if you say different operation. If you see here, we have a plus, we have a minus. This was one operation, this was the other operation. So when we see something like that, we say that we have an algebraic expression. So we know that in algebraic expression 3x minus 5, there are some things. First, there are two terms. One is 3x is the first term, minus 5 is the other term. Then we have a variable. Variable is any unknown thing. In mathematics, game or study of variable is study of unknown is known as algebra. Algebra पूरी branch है mathematics में. हम लोग क्या कर रहे होते हैं, हम लोग unknowns को find कर रहे होते हैं. तो यहाँ पे जो है हम unknowns को represent करते हैं using some letters from A to Z. So you can use any other letter from X, Y, Z, any other letter. So it has one variable and there is one constant term. What is the constant term? कांस्टेंट टर्म वो टर्म होता है जो सिर्फ एक प्रॉपर नंबर होता है, उसके साथ कोई भी वेरिएबल नहीं होता है. इफ यू सी 3x is known as a term, minus 5 is also a term, but minus 5 is said to be a constant number because it is just a number, whereas 3x जो है हमारे पास इसके साथ एक वेरिएबल मंसूब है. कांस्टेंट अगर आप वर्ड सर्च कर डिक्शनरी में, इट मीन्स समथिंग विच इज द सेम. -5 ही रहेगा, लेकिन 3x नहीं रहेगा. इफ आई फाइंड द वैल्यू ऑफ x and if I multiply it by 3, the value of 3x will change, but this will not happen with -5. So such expressions of an algebraic, such expressions are known as linear expressions because they deal with a variable that has power 1. What do I mean by that? If you see, यहाँ पे हमारे पास वेरिएबल था x, राइट, 3x. अगर हम बात करें पावर्स की, व्हाट आर पावर्स, यहाँ पे अगर मैं लिखूँ 1 की पावर अगर 1 है, so what do I mean by that? That 1 is multiplied 1 time, so I will get 1. If I write 2 to the power 2, what do I mean by that? That means that I'm going to multiply 2 times. So how will I get my answer? It will be 2 multiplied by 2, and that will be equal to 4. So over here, linear expressions are those expressions जिसमें किसी भी एक वेरिएबल की पावर 1 होती है. यहाँ पे x की पावर क्या है? 1, क्योंकि यहाँ पे x जो है एक ही दफा मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा है. बट व्हाट आर क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशंस? सो those expressions, quadratic expressions are those expressions which have variable with power 2. You can read it over here. We shall learn how to manipulate quadratic expressions in one variable. The general form of quadratic expression in one variable is ax squared plus bx plus c, where x is the variable, a, b, and c are constant, and a is not equal to 0. So I'll be explaining you guys this one by one. So they're telling us the first thing is that x is the variable. So here if you see, x is coming 2 times. One is x is over here, and one x is over here. Here the difference between the two is, here the x has the power 2, and here the x has the power 1, right? But there is a difference between the two. अगर मैं यहाँ पे लिखूँ 2 का square and 2, so are these two the things the same? 2 का square क्या होता है? 4, and 2 here comes as it is. Are these two numbers the same thing? No, these two numbers are quite different. So here x squared and x are different. They seem to be the same variable, but due to their powers, these two are different in nature. All right. So if you see here, in such expression, in quadratic expressions, we have one variable which has power 2, and we have another variable which has power 1. And with these two variables, we have some numbers associated with them, to whom we call as constant or coefficients. We'll be looking these examples in detail. Now they're telling us one thing. They're telling us कि जो हमारे पास x square के समय में जो होगा नंबर लिखा जाएगा, जिसको कोएफिशिएंट होगा, वो 0 नहीं होगा. So do you understand that? So any number along with the x square will not be 0, will not be equal to 0. This is what this statement means. So now we will be starting with expanding, and I hope that everyone who is going to watch my video will be knowing how to expand. But just to recall, so if I start to expand this, so here 2, 3x plus 1. So you must know that whenever we are expanding an expression, we need to follow the distributive law. That is, अगर हमारे पास ब्रैकेट के बाहर एक नंबर लिखा हुआ है, हम इस 3 को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करेंगे 2 के साथ भी and with 1. How? We'll see it here. I'm going to solve it out. 3 को हम पहले मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे 2x से. So 3 2s are 6, और x साथ में ऐसे आ जाएगा. Then plus will come down here as it is, because if you see here, if ये 3 भी plus है, I would say कि अभी तक बिल्कुल सिंपल एक्सप्रेशन आपके सामने लिखी हुई है, लेकिन पहले आप साइंस को मल्टीप्लाई करें और फिर आप नंबर्स को मल्टीप्लाई करें. That will make you work easy. We will look this kind of example over here in this question, right? So 3 2s are is 6x, then plus 3 1s are is 3. This is how we are expanding our our expression. This is just a linear expression. It's not a quadratic equation over here. What if I look at this question? I will be doing a difficult one. I'm doing part B. So minus 2x. Okay, now here we have a sign, negative sign out there. So as I told you guys earlier, what I'll do is I will multiply the signs first. This is minus 2x. हमारे पास first sign given है. We have a plus sign over here. So minus plus is minus. 3 2s are is 6, and then x comes here as it is. Then again I will multiply the signs first. So minus is plus, then 3 1s are is 3. So keep in your mind, when you're given complex question in which you have different signs involved, kindly first solve the signs and then multiply the number. That will make your work easier. So you can see how your answers are different. When the signs change, your answers also change. So we'll move on now. So here, they have told us that we are going to see the distributed law over here, as we'll be distributing the number outside the bracket with the number with the terms inside the bracket. जो नंबर में बाहर दिया हुआ है उसको हम distribute करेंगे bracket के अंदर. So if you guys can see, if I'm going to multiply 2 by bracket x minus 2, I will distribute the 2 with x also. That is, I will be multiplying 2 with x and 2 with 2 also. So 2x are is 2x, then minus sign will come here as it is, and 2 2s are is 4. If I look at the complex question over here, so if you see here, as told you guys earlier, पहले हम किसको solve करेंगे? पहले हम signs को solve करेंगे. So if you see here, here was a minus sign. यहाँ पे minus था, लेकिन 3 के साथ यहाँ पे क्या था? It was a plus. So minus plus is minus. Then 3 3s are is 9, and then comes the x along with it. Then the second time, again, before doing multiplying the terms, I will first solve the sign. So minus is plus. Then 3 4s are is 12 x squared. Why x squared? Because we're going to multiply 2x squared. So x into x is x squared. So अगर हम x को multiply करते हैं 3 दफा, then what will happen? X into x is what? It is actually 3x. Sorry, it is actually x squared, x cubed. Sorry, x cubed. If I multiply x 4 times, x into x into x into x, and I will get what? I will get x 4, x to the power 4. But then how do we get 3x? When I add up x 3 times, so x plus x plus x, I will get what? I will get 3x. How do I get 4x? When I add up 4, so when I add up x 4 times, so x plus x plus x plus an x, so we'll get 4x. Same will happen for 5x. If I add up x 5 times, I will get 5x, and so this continues. So let's proceed. I hope that everybody is able to do these questions now, but I'll be looking at this question expanded form here. This is a bit you can say tricky question. For this purpose, I will be introducing a different kind of bracket over here. I'll be doing this question up here, changing the ink now. So here it is. So if you see here, we are given a number and a bracket, and then we have a sign, a number, and a bracket. So the first thing, if I follow the board mass rule, I have to solve the bracket first, right? So what I'll do is, पहले मुझे इसको सॉल्व करना होगा, फिर मुझे इसको सॉल्व करना होगा. लेकिन अगर मैं इसको रैंडमली ऐसे काम करके दिखाऊंगी, सो आई माइट मेक अ मिस्टेक. सो फॉर दिस पर्पस आई एम गोइंग टू इंट्रोड्यूस अ स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट हियर which will safeguard my work. So if you see here, the square bracket will make my work safe. You know, the purpose of brackets in algebra is to just safeguard your work. People can work without brackets, but why are we using bracket? It actually makes your work easier and it makes your work safe. So as you all know that if you're given the two brackets, we have a round bracket and a square bracket, you're going to solve the square bracket first. So here, if in the square bracket, I'm going to solve this whole thing. So 2 into 2 is 4x, 4, so and x comes here down as it is. Then plus 2 3s are 6. And this whole thing will come in a bracket. I'll show you what will happen if I am not going to put a bracket here. So then 2, this whole thing will happen in a bracket itself. Minus sign is not going to be used here. So 2 into x is 2x. 2x. Then 2. Now we have minus 5. 2 into minus 5 is what? It's minus 10. If I did not put a bracket here, what I would do is I would use this minus 2 whole to multiply. So what I would do is minus 2x and then minus this plus. So here my answer would be changed. So do you see how important brackets are? Without the brackets, we might make mistakes. So here, if I solve them further, so 4x plus 6, then now if I solve this part, minus into 2x is minus 2x. If you guys see, let me do it for you guys here. So 4x plus 6 minus into 2x is what? It's minus 2x. And then minus into minus is plus. And so what we will get is we will get a 10. So we'll bring the like terms together now. 4x minus 2x is what? We are getting 2x. Then 6 plus 10 is what? It gives me 16. So our answer is 2x plus 16. I think this was the most important question which I could solve over here. It had to do with different signs here. Even if you see over here, you are getting up the same answers even if you don't do this bracket here. लेकिन यहाँ पे मैंने ब्रैकेट्स क्यों लगाया? अगर आप इसको ब्रैकेट के बगैर भी काम करेंगे तो आपके पास आंसर यही आने वाला है. लेकिन मैंने अभी आपको क्यों यूज करवाया? क्योंकि कुछ क्वेश्चंस आपके पास ऐसे आएंगे जिसमें आपके पास साइंस डिफरेंट हो जाएंगे, अंदर भी डिफरेंट होंगे, बाहर भी डिफरेंट होंगे. तो उन पर्पस के लिए आप यहाँ पे ब्रैकेट्स यूज करेंगे. सो बेटर टू गो फॉर ब्रैकेट्स. डोंट टेक रिस्क, क्योंकि जितना कुछ आपके क्वेश्चन ईजी हो या मुश्किल हो, बेटर गो फॉर द यूज ऑफ अ ब्रैकेट to safeguard your work. You will be seeing further in your practice question that how brackets can affect your answers. यहाँ पर तो फिर भी अगर आप इसके बगैर भी काम करेंगे तो आपके पास आंसर वही आने वाला है. लेकिन when you go for the complex questions, you will realize how important brackets are. So let's move on. So here this is very easy. I hope everyone knows how to expand the brackets here. We'll be just showing you guys one question. So here, if I take this question, the hard one, what I will do is, when we are given two brackets to multiply, what we will do is, we will either choose the first bracket or we will choose the second bracket. We will but whichever bracket we are choosing, हम उसको पहले open कर देंगे. कैसे उसको open करेंगे? Let's suppose if I have taken this, if I'm doing part C, so if I've taken the bracket 3x plus 8, now what I will do is I will break this into two parts. One is 3x and the other is plus 8. Plus 8 and that is 3x. What I'll do is now I will take the 3x and I will multiply this 3x with the second bracket. What's my second bracket? It's 5x minus 9. 5x minus 9. And then I will take the second number which I have just uh, broken up into, so plus 8, and again I will multiply with the second bracket, that is 5x minus 9. So here if you see 3, okay, here we have variables also, we have signs also, we have numbers also. What I'll do is I will be doing each and everything step by step. First I will be multiplying the numbers. So 3 into 5 is 15. 15. Then I will multiply the variable, that is x into x is x squared. When we multiply 2x, we get an x squared. Then we have a minus sign over here. यहाँ पे plus sign है. So plus minus gives me minus. Then 3 9s are is 27. And so 9 has no x. So here x comes here as it is. Then plus 8 5s are is 40. Here is an x inside with the 5, so I'll put an x over here. Then 8, so you can see that there's a minus sign over here. So what I'll do is, I will first solve the sign here. So plus minus is minus. Then 8 9s are is, what's 8 9s are? 8 9s are is 72. You need to be familiar with your tables to do so. Then we'll bring the like terms together. And then we will end up with the answer, that is 15x squared plus 13x minus 72. If you see, this is a form of a quadratic equation. We need to put an equal to sign as we are expanding. Don't forget to do so. We'll move on now. Now we're coming towards factorizing. So first of all, I will discuss with you guys what is the difference between factorizing and expanding. If you saw previously, when we were expanding, हम एक चीज को फैला रहे थे, स्प्रेड कर रहे थे, उसको बड़ा कर रहे थे. But now when we are factorizing, we are going to make things smaller here. We're going to gather things over here. If you see over here, the first one is x squared plus 7x plus 10. So here, if I need to factorize it, there are some steps to follow. The first step is, सबसे पहले हम term देखेंगे, वो variable देखेंगे जिसके साथ square लगा हुआ है. So here we have an x squared. Then I will look at that term which is just a simple number which has no variable along with it. That is a 10 over here, right? So here, if you see, we have an x squared and we have a 10. Now what I'll do is, अब मैं यहाँ पे वो नंबर चेक करूंगी जो कि इस x स्क्वायर के साथ है. इस x स्क्वायर के साथ कोई नंबर नहीं दिया हुआ है. जहाँ पे कोई नंबर नहीं होता है, वहाँ पे क्या होता है? वहाँ पे 1 होता है. So here, what I will do is, now I will take this 1 and I will take this 10 and I will multiply these two. Right? So I will get 1 10s are is 10. Now I need to break this middle term now. मुझे अब इस middle term को break भी करना होगा. So let me take a blue color. So what I'll do is, how can I break the middle term now? What I'll do is, I will take the factors of 10. मैं 10 के वो factors निकालूंगी जिसको plus करने से मुझे 7x मिल जाए. So I will first list down all the factors of 10. 1 10s are is 10, 2 5s are is 10, 2 5s are is 10. Is there any other term? Is there any other factor of 10? No, there isn't. So what I'll do is, I will have to check it now कि मुझे कौन सा वाला factor जो है 10 दे रहा है. So 1 plus 10 gives me 11 and 2 plus 5 gives me 7. So which factor can I use over here? I can use factor that is 2 into 5, because if I multiply 2 with 5, I'm getting a 10, and if I add up 2 plus 5, I'm getting a 7. Now how will I work out? So what I'll do is I will write down the x square same here as it is, plus sign will come here as it is, but instead of writing a 7x here, I will break it into two parts, that is 2x plus 5x plus 10, right? So this is the way I'm going to write this down. Now this was my first step. I first chose the factors which can give me 10 and which can add up to 7x. Then I broke up the middle term and I rewrote the equation. Now what I will do is I will divide these all terms into groups and I will take the commons now. So if you see here, we have four terms here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will be dividing these terms into two groups. This is the first group. This is the second group. So I will be taking the common in the first group now. कौन सा ऐसा वेरिएबल है या नंबर है जो इन दोनों टर्म्स में मौजूद है? If you see here, this is an x square, this is a 2x. So if you see here, x is the common in between the two. यहाँ पर भी एक x है, यहाँ पर भी एक x है, इसलिए मैंने यहाँ पे एक x बाहर निकाल दिया. Then I'll open the bracket up here. कितने x अब अंदर रह गए? एक x मैंने बाहर निकाल दिया, तो यहाँ पे अंदर एक x रह जाएगा. Then plus I've already taken an x out, so I don't need to write the x again here. So I'll just write 2 here. Then I'll close the bracket. Now again plus. Now again, which two things are common here? If you see here, we have 5 and 10. Just think about it. Is there a connection between the two? Yes, 5 ones are is 5 and 5 twos are is 10. So if I take a common factor 5 out, do I need to take x as the common? No, because x is over here, but x is not over here. So I'll open a bracket, x will stay here as it is, plus 2, because 5 twos are is 10. Now, keep in mind that whenever we are doing this step, you will realize that in this step, if you are going wrong or if you are going correct, how will you understand? अगर आपके पास ब्रैकेट्स में दोनों आपके पास सेम हो जाएंगे. If you see we have x plus 2 and x plus 2 over here, if you get these two brackets the same, this shows that we are going correct. But if you see that you're getting these two brackets the different, then it means that you have done something wrong in the previous step. So this is the key point where you will understand that you're going correct or wrong. Now what I will do is I will enclose the terms outside the bracket into a bracket, plus 5. Whatever was there outside the bracket, I have written it into one bracket. और जो bracket में मौजूद था, it was 2 times over here, but I will write it only 1 time. So x plus 2. This was how we factorize an quadratic equation. So I hope everything was clear to everybody. I'll be pausing it for a minute. If you guys have any question, you can post me up over there. All right. So I don't know if there are no questions. We'll be continuing now. So here, so let's start. If you guys are watching my video, keep in mind to just record, write down whatever points I'm going to tell you guys. Because as we will be moving on, we will be doing different things together in this session, inshallah. So now I'll be going towards factorizing a bit, you can see a tricky question over here. So let's move. So let me do this question for you guys. This question over here, part B, it has different signs here. So if you guys are following the book, it's on page number 109. That's your Oxford edition. So if you see over here, we are given an equation over here that is x squared. That is x squared minus 9x plus 14. So as I told you guys earlier, the first step is we need to look at the variable that has a square. We need to look at the term which is just a number, that is the 14, that's a constant number over here. And now what I will do is I will look for the number along with the x square. यहाँ पे कोई number नहीं है, जहाँ पे कोई number नहीं हो तो पे क्या होता है? There is a 1. Then this was my first step. Now my second step is I will take the number along with the x square, that is 1, and I will multiply it with, sorry for the inconvenience. So and I will multiply it with 14. Now this was my second step. So 1 14 is, that's 14 again. Now I will need to look for a factor of 14 that can add up to -9. मुझे वो फैक्टर ढूंढना होगा 14 का जिसको प्लस करने से मुझे -9 मिले. So what I will do is now I will start listing down all the factors which I know. So I know that 2 7s is 14. 2 7s is 14. Is there any other factor of 14 you know? Yes. Does 14 come in 3's table? No, it doesn't come. What about 6? What about 7? Yes, it comes in table of 7. So 7 2s is 7 2s is 14. What about in table of 8? Does 14 come in any other table? No, it comes directly in the table of 14. Fine. So now we need to look for those factors which can give me 9x, -9x. So if I add up 2 with 7, so 2 plus 7 is what? 2, 7. 2 plus 7 is what? We will get 9. If I add up 7 with 2, I will get 9. But the problem is we are getting positive 9. We need to get -9 over here. For this purpose, I will be explaining you guys some concepts of signs which we have done in lower levels. So we know that अगर मैं यहाँ पे -2 plus 7 करूँ, what answer will I get? हमें पता है कि plus minus is minus, minus plus is also minus, plus is plus, and minus is also plus. What do I mean by this thing? अगर हमारे पास साइन अलग अलग होते हैं तो हम उन दोनों नंबर्स को सब्ट्रैक्ट कर देंगे. So if you see here, we have a minus sign and we have a plus sign. These two signs are different. So what I will do is I will subtract these two numbers. So 7 minus 2 is what? 7 minus 2 is 5. अच्छा यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम है. और प्रॉब्लम ये है कि मेरे पास मेरे आंसर के साथ साइन कौन सा है। हमने ये एक और बात पढ़ी थी कि अगर हमारे जो भी नंबर यहाँ पे बड़ा होगा, जो भी उसका साइन होगा, वही साइन जो होगा हमारे आंसर के साथ लगेगा। सो इफ यू सी हियर, वी हैव -2 over here and we have +7 over here. So which number is the biggest over here? If you see here, +7 is the biggest number over here. So the bigger number over here is 7, and it has a positive sign over here. So here I will put a plus. Fine. What if my answer looks something like, what if my question looks something like this? Again, we have different signs here. So -7 +2, it's obvious that we have different signs. If we have different signs, we are going to subtract. So we will be using this step over here. But what will be the sign of my answer? मेरे आंसर का क्या साइन होगा? We will look at the bigger number over here. So which is the bigger number over here? You see, which is the bigger number? Think about it. Which is the bigger number over here? So if you see here, 7 is the bigger number over here. I'm not talking about the numbers in number on number lines. I'm just talking about numbers which are obvious over here. So if you see that -7 is the bigger number over here, so it is not actually the bigger, it's a very small number. लेकिन अगर देखा जाए तो यहाँ पे 7 जो है बड़ा नंबर है। अब वो साइन जो 7 के साथ लगेगा, वही साइन मेरे आंसर के साथ भी आएगा। So over here 7 was the biggest number over here, और यहाँ पे 7 का साइन क्या था? It was a minus sign, so -5. So you can see how my signs are changing. So my question is, I need to get -9x. यहाँ पे प्लस करने से मुझे यहाँ पे 9 मिल रहा था, और मुझे ऐसा क्या करना होगा कि मेरा आंसर, मेरे नंबर्स प्लस भी हो जाए और मेरे पास मेरा आंसर नेगेटिव में भी आ जाए। So you can look at this last step here, which is the last step over here. It is actually the last theory. That is, if we have two numbers which are having a negative sign, they will be added, and so the answer will also be negative. So if I write it over here, इस बात का ये मतलब होता है कि अगर मैं -2 को -7 के साथ करूँ, if I subtract these two numbers, because we have the same signs, minus gives me what? Plus. So I will be adding up the numbers. If you see here, minus क्या होता है? प्लस होता है। अगर एक बात याद रखिए, ये कभी कभी आपके लिए कंफ्यूजिंग बन सकती है। इतना याद रखिए कि अगर डिफरेंट साइन है तो आप माइनस करेंगे, सेम साइंस हैं तो आप प्लस करेंगे, चाहे वो आपके पास दोनों पॉजिटिव हो या चाहे आपके पास दोनों नेगेटिव हो। सो माइनस माइनस इज प्लस। सो -2 -7 इज व्हाट? इट इज 9। लेकिन यहाँ पे हमारे पास आंसर के साथ कौन सा साइन आएगा? You will have to look here for the biggest number over here. The biggest number over here is 7. So यहाँ पे 7 के साथ साइन क्या था? It was minus. So our answer will also have a minus sign. This is how we got -9 over here. Now what we'll do is, I will rewrite the equation over here having these two in place of -9. So let's do it here. So x squared minus, now instead of writing 9x over here, I'll be writing -2x and -7x. याद रहे कि ये इसके साथ x भी था, तो यहाँ पे आप x को भी लिखेंगे. You will not leave the x there. So -2x, or if I write it like this, so x squared minus 2x minus 7x and plus 14. So here, now I have written my quadratic equation in a broken form. Now if you see, we have 4 terms here. So we will be dividing the four terms into two groups. So this will be our first group. This will be our second group. It doesn't matter if you're writing -7 and then you're writing -2 here. You will end up with the same answers. Okay. So let's move on. So here